All right, let's get an update now from SABC News reporter Ntlantla Kgatlane, who attended the ANC's Manifesto Launch, and he joins us live now from Durban's Moses Mabhida Stadium. We are expecting our reporter to be joining us shortly, but of course, the ANC, as you've just heard the president there talking about those 6 priorities that the ANC has basically tabled into their manifesto. So we're basically going to try and have a look and dissect as to how all of these were actually received by all those that were gathered out at Moses Mabhida Stadium. Ntlantla, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Look, the ANC shared its 6 priorities promised by the ruling party, basically a reflection as well of their 30 years in power. So please break down some of the most interesting aspects of these.
Well, before coming there, Alicia, well, thank you indeed. We saw today the ANC in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, one of the most contested province in the upcoming elections, managing to fill the stadium here. ANC members came in their large numbers to come and listen to that manifesto that was delivered by the ANC president, showcasing, that it's still a formidable force. If around this time leading up to elections, manifestos are used rather just as a warning bullet, also to just showcase your strength. But coming to your question, Alicia, one of the issues that the president, if you followed him when he was speaking in each and every gathering, he would emphasize on an issue that as much as there are talks that the ANC has not really done enough, in the past 30 years, in the past 3 decades, the party has managed to change a lot of lives. Jobs have been created, and keep on emphasizing the point that under the ANC's governance, life it's better than in 1990, or rather before 1994. Alicia, we heard him there, like you already mentioned, that the party intends to create jobs, things that people are complaining about, are saying that under the ANC there seems to be lack when it comes to job, a lot of promises there. Alicia, also cost of living, an issue that the president touched on. Industrialization, Alicia, when you spoke there, when you heard him speak, they're saying that doctors are going to be hired. But this begs a question that how pragmatic that is. The president putting the ANC's head on the blocks there, saying that in the next coming 5 years the party has a plan, and those 6 key priorities will be implemented to change the lives of South Africans. These are messages that parties are using for South Africans to give them a chance to govern. That the ANC has been governing since 1994. The 7th administration is coming. All political parties are gunning for the soul of the voters there, coming up with plans. I mean, already this far, some political oppositions have even come up with plan Bs, whereby they say that if the ANC, like a lot of political pundits have analyzed, saying that it's going to be very difficult for the ANC to get an outright majority. But today's picture, if you looked at it, Alicia, you could see that the ANC really is still a formidable political party in South Africa. But the fundamental question remains, what we saw on the podium outside the stadium, the Moses Mabhida Stadium, will that translate to votes that they would get come the 29th of May? That remains to be seen, Alicia. A lot of promises made there, job creation, industrialize, deal with a high cost of living, shake up the economy, make it better, draw investment. Those are the things that the president of the ANC there put forward in front of people for them to give them another chance to govern. Alicia.
Ntlantla, look, I mean, interesting choice of venue, of course, the KZN Durban Moses Mabhida Stadium at the back of the manifesto launch there of the EFF, and of course KZN being the mostly contested province, with of course the emergence of MK that is said to cause an upset to the numbers of the ANC. So talk to us about that. I mean, as you've just pointed out, it still remains to be seen as to whether or not the attendance and the turnout of the party supporters will actually equate to voters come the 29th of May.
Yes, well, indeed, Alicia, you saw that the EFF also, making a mark here in the province of KZN. I mean, like you already alluded to, a much contested province. Also, the emergence of MK. I mean, a lot of people, were interested in seeing if the ANC will manage to fill the stadium today, which it managed to do. But like I already mentioned, Alicia, that these events, these manifestos, they are used as signs to show that some political parties still have just as a warning shot that we still have support. A much contested province, but with the emergence of MK, that remains to be seen when that election day comes. I mean, if you have tracked history, you've noticed that the ANC has suffered a lot when it comes to voters, especially when they have breakaway parties or parties that come from that emanate or break away from the governing party. You'd find that they grab a chunk of numbers. Cope, it's an example. The EFF is also an example. And recently we saw MK also emerging here, and also making a lot of political pundits try and analyze this thing, seeing that now there's a new political party which seems to be very strong in this province, and this province that you already say is much contested. When that day comes, will what we saw at the stadium translate into votes? That remains to be the big question. Right. And I guess it will also be a lesson as we go forward, that you could manage to fill a stadium, but will that count when it comes to vote, especially when you have political parties that come from and keep on taking that huge chunk from people that support you or believe in you.
All right, we're going to leave it there. That is, of course, SABC News reporter Ntlantla Kgatlane. They're live to us from Durban, and he was just giving us an update on the ANC manifesto.